Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Globe, the podcast where we help you improve your English and also grow as a person at the same time. I hope you are all feeling great today and ready to learn something new, something helpful, and something that can really make a big difference in your life. My name is Adam, and I'm here today with my amazing co-host Julia, and together we're going to talk about a very important and meaningful topic that many people think about, but sometimes don't know how to deal with. The topic of today's episode is called How to Turn Challenges into Opportunities, and we're going to explain this step by step, using real-life examples, slow and clear speech, and simple English so that everyone listening can follow along easily.
Hello, friends. I'm so excited to be here again, and I'm really looking forward to today's topic because I think it's something that every person can relate to, no matter where they live or what language they speak. In life, we all go through difficult moments, times when we feel stuck, tired, sad, or even scared because something didn't go the way we wanted it to. These difficult times are what we call challenges, and sometimes they make us feel like giving up or thinking we are not good enough. But here's the interesting part. What if we can learn to look at these hard moments in a new way? What if we can take something negative and turn it into something positive? That's what we mean when we say turning challenges into opportunities. And today, we will explore this idea together in a way that's simple, clear, and helpful for your English learning and your life too.
That's a really great way to describe it, Julia. And I think many people listening today are going to understand exactly what we're talking about because they've been through these kinds of situations before. In this podcast, our goal is to help you grow your English skills, but also to help you grow your mindset, your thinking, and your confidence. We are going to speak slowly and use easy-to-understand vocabulary so that you don't feel lost or confused. And we'll also explain each part clearly with examples that are easy to imagine. Learning English is not just about grammar and vocabulary. It's also about learning how to express your ideas, how to understand other people, and how to grow stronger even when life is hard. And that's why today's topic is perfect for all of us.
Before we begin, I want to ask you, the listener, a simple question to think about as you listen to the podcast. Have you ever faced a situation in your life where something felt really difficult? Maybe you studied for an exam but didn't get the result you wanted. Maybe you applied for a job and didn't get it. Maybe you tried to speak English with someone, but you made a mistake and felt embarrassed. These are all examples of challenges, and the truth is that we all experience moments like these in life. But the most important thing is not what happens to us, it's how we respond to it. Did you stop trying after that? Or did you get back up and try again with a better plan and more courage?
That's a very important point, Julia. And I want to share a short story from my own life to show how this idea works. A few years ago, I decided to start learning Spanish because I love traveling and I wanted to speak to people in their language. At first, it was really hard. I couldn't understand native speakers. I made many mistakes when I tried to talk, and I often forgot simple words. I felt nervous and unsure of myself, and many times I thought about quitting. But then, I changed how I looked at the situation. Instead of thinking of it as a problem, I started to think of it as a challenge. Something I could work on, something that could make me better if I didn't give up. So I practiced every day, listened to Spanish music, watched Spanish videos, and spoke with other learners. Slowly but surely, I improved, and now I can have a full conversation in Spanish. That challenge became an opportunity for me to grow.
That's a beautiful example, Adam. And I think many of our listeners can feel the same way about learning English. It's not always easy to learn a new language. It takes time, patience, practice, and a lot of courage to make mistakes and keep going. But every time you listen to this podcast, every time you try to speak, write, or read in English, you are taking a challenge and turning it into an opportunity. Maybe today you don't feel confident. Maybe you forget some words, or maybe you speak slowly. But that's okay, because every small step you take is helping you move forward. You are not failing, you are learning.
Exactly. And that's what we want to talk about more deeply in today's episode. We're going to explain what a challenge really is, what an opportunity is, and how you can train your brain to think differently when you face hard situations. We will give you useful tips, easy examples, and some simple but powerful words and phrases that you can use in your daily life. So make yourself comfortable, get your notebook ready if you like to write things down, and let's enjoy this learning journey together.
And remember, this podcast is for you. We believe in you, and we want to help you not just speak English, but also live with more strength, more confidence, and more hope. So let's begin with the first step, understanding what a challenge is and why it can be something good, not something bad.
All right then, let's jump in and talk about challenges, what they mean, how they feel, and how we can begin to change the way we see them. So let's start by talking about the word challenge. What does it really mean? A challenge is something that is difficult. It's a situation or task that is hard to do. It can be a problem, a test, or something new that you have never done before. For example, learning English is a challenge for many people. It's not easy to remember new words, speak clearly, and understand native speakers. But challenges are a normal part of life. Everyone faces them. Children, adults, students, and even teachers. A challenge is not something bad. It just means you need more effort, more time, and more practice. It's something that pushes you to do better. When you face a challenge, you might feel nervous, scared, or tired. But that's okay. These feelings are natural. The most important thing is what you do next. Do you stop and give up? Or do you try again and keep moving forward? That is the key idea we are going to explore in this podcast.
Yes, that's a really good explanation, Adam. And I want to add that challenges can come in many different forms. For example, someone might lose their job. That's a big challenge. Another person might have trouble making friends in a new school. That's also a challenge. Some people feel shy when they speak English and they are afraid to make a mistake. That's a personal challenge. But here's something interesting. When we face a challenge, it gives us a chance to learn something new. Maybe we learn how to be more patient. Maybe we become stronger. Maybe we discover a new way to solve a problem. So even if something feels hard at first, that challenge can help us become a better person. It's like a mountain. At the bottom, the climb looks very high and very hard. But if you take small steps, little by little, you will reach the top. And when you look back, you will feel proud because you did something difficult. That is what makes challenges so important in life.
All right. Now that we understand what a challenge is and why we all experience them, let's talk about the other important word in today's topic, the word opportunity. An opportunity is a chance. It's a moment or a situation that gives you the possibility to do something good, to grow, to succeed, or to change something in your life for the better. Opportunities often come when you least expect them, and sometimes they are hidden inside a difficult situation. For example, let's say you fail a test. At first, it feels like a problem, right? But then you decide to study harder, learn from your mistakes, and prepare better next time. That failure becomes an opportunity to become a better student. It's like the universe is saying, here's your chance to grow. So many good things in life come from something that first felt like a problem. The key is to look deeper and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this moment to become better, smarter, or stronger? That's how you start seeing opportunity instead of just challenge.
Yes, Adam, that's such a beautiful way to describe it. I think when people hear the word opportunity, they often think about something big, like getting a new job, winning a prize, or meeting someone famous. But really, an opportunity can be something small and simple too. For example, when you listen to this podcast, that's an opportunity to improve your English. When you try to speak English with a friend, even if you make mistakes, That is an opportunity to practice and grow. Every new day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. The important thing is how you look at it. If you believe that every moment can teach you something, then you will start to find opportunities everywhere. Even when things go wrong, you can say, "Okay, this is hard, but maybe I can learn something from it." That kind of thinking is very powerful, and it can change your life in amazing ways. And don't worry if you don't feel that way yet. It takes time and practice to change your thinking, just like it takes time to learn a new language.
That's so true, Julia. And I think we can make this more clear by giving a simple example from daily life. Imagine you are walking outside and suddenly it starts to rain. You didn't bring an umbrella, so you get wet. Now that's not fun, it's uncomfortable, and maybe you feel upset. That is the challenge. But here's the opportunity. Next time, you remember to check the weather and bring your umbrella. You also learn how to stay calm when things don't go your way. You might even find a nice cafe to wait in, and you discover a new place you didn't know before. The rain didn't ruin your day. It helped you learn, grow, and maybe even find something new. Life is full of moments like this. The same thing can happen when you make a mistake in English. Maybe you say something wrong and someone corrects you. It feels a little embarrassing, but it's also an opportunity to learn that word better, to remember the grammar rule and to feel more confident next time. That's how we turn small problems into powerful lessons.
Exactly. And I want to add that people who succeed in life are not people who never face problems. They are people who learn how to find opportunities in the middle of those problems. They ask themselves, "What is this trying to teach me?" Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" They say, "What can I do with this situation?" That is the mindset of growth. And when you have that mindset, your whole life begins to change. You stop feeling afraid of mistakes. You stop giving up when things get hard. You start to believe that you can always learn, always improve, and always keep going. And that belief makes you stronger, not just in English, but in everything you do. So remember this, dear listener. Every time you face something hard, there is also something good waiting to be found. It may not be easy, but it is always possible. And we are here to help you see that and believe that with your whole heart.
Now that we understand what a challenge is and what an opportunity is, I think it's a great time to look at some real-life examples so you can see how these ideas actually work in everyday life. One of the best ways to understand something deeply is through stories, because stories help us imagine and connect with real situations. So, let me tell you about my friend Maria. A few years ago, she lost her job at a small company. At first, she felt very sad, confused, and scared, because she didn't know what to do next. That job was her only source of income, and losing it felt like a very big problem. But after some time, she began to think differently. She asked herself, "What can I do now that I have free time? What have I always wanted to try?" She remembered that she loved baking, so she started baking cakes and cookies at home. She shared them with her friends and neighbors, and people loved her baking so much that they started ordering from her. Over time, she opened a small online bakery, and now she runs her own business. Losing her job felt like a challenge at first, but in the end, it became a big opportunity to do something she truly loved.
That's a wonderful example, Adam, and it shows so clearly how something that feels like the end can actually be the beginning of something better. I also have a story to share. There was a student in one of my English classes named Ali. He was from a small town and had never spoken English before. When he joined my class, he was very shy. He made many mistakes and he was afraid to speak in front of others. But one day, I gave the class a small speaking project. I told them to talk about their favorite food. At first, Ali didn't want to do it. He thought he would fail. But I encouraged him and told him, "Don't worry about being perfect. Just try." So he stood up. And even though he was nervous, he spoke about his favorite food, biryani. He smiled, the class clapped, and something changed in him that day. He realized he could do it. After that, he practiced more and spoke more often. Today, he helps other students who feel shy just like he did. His fear was a challenge, but when he faced it, it became an opportunity to grow and help others.
I love that story, Julia. It's a great reminder that opportunities don't always look exciting or big in the beginning. Sometimes they come in very small ways, like standing up in class, speaking a few sentences, or learning from a mistake. I also want to share something from my own experience. When I first started teaching English online, I didn't have any students. I made videos and waited, but no one watched. I felt disappointed and thought about giving up. But instead of quitting, I used that time to improve. I watched other teachers. I studied how to speak more clearly and how to make my lessons interesting. Slowly, people started finding my videos. They left kind comments, shared my lessons, and some of them even became my first students. Today, I'm speaking to thousands of people, including all of you listening right now. If I had stopped when things were hard, I would have missed this opportunity. So remember, when you face a hard time, it might be the beginning of something amazing.
That's very inspiring, Adam. And it reminds me that every single person listening today has the same power inside them. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be rich or famous. All you need is the courage to try, the belief that something good can come from a bad moment, and the strength to keep going even when things are hard. So if you're listening right now and you're facing a challenge, maybe you're learning English and you feel stuck, or maybe something is happening in your personal life that feels heavy, I want you to take a deep breath and tell yourself, this is not the end. This is a chance. This is my opportunity. Because your story is still being written. And sometimes, the best parts of our stories begin with a small challenge that we turn into a great success.
So now that we've shared some real-life stories about turning challenges into opportunities, let's talk about something very important: your mindset. Your mindset is the way you think about things. It's the way you see the world and your own abilities. Some people have what we call a fixed mindset. They believe that if something is hard, they cannot do it. They say things like, "I'm not good at English," or "I will never understand grammar." But other people have what we call a growth mindset. They believe that they can improve with practice. They say, "I'm not good at English yet, but I can get better." And that one small word, yet, makes a big difference. A growth mindset helps you turn a challenge into an opportunity because it gives you hope and motivation. When you believe that you can learn and grow, you don't give up when things are difficult. You keep trying. You look for new ways to understand. You ask for help. You try again and again. And little by little, you become stronger. So if you want to start turning your own challenges into opportunities, the first step is to change the way you think.
Yes, and I want to say something very clearly to our listeners. You can change your mindset. You might think, this is just the way I am, but that's not true. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. When you start telling yourself positive things, your brain starts to believe them. For example, instead of saying, "I always make mistakes in English," try saying, "Every mistake helps me learn something new." That small change in words creates a big change in your feeling. Instead of feeling sad or afraid, you feel ready to learn. Another tip is to talk to yourself like a friend. Imagine if your best friend made a mistake. Would you say, "You're stupid"? Of course not. You would say, "Don't worry, keep going, you're doing great." So talk to yourself the same way. Be kind, be patient, be proud of every step, even the small ones. A strong mindset is not about being perfect. It's about being positive, even when things are hard. And when your mind is strong, you can face any challenge and find the opportunity inside it.
That's such great advice, Julia. I also think it helps to focus on what you can do instead of what you can't do. For example, maybe you don't understand fast English movies yet, but you can understand slow podcasts like this one. That's progress. Maybe you can't speak full sentences yet, but you can say hello, ask questions, and introduce yourself. That's already something. If you only think about what you can't do, you will always feel like a failure. But if you look at what you can do, you will feel strong. And that feeling will help you grow even more. So here's a small exercise for our listeners. After this podcast, take a notebook and write down 3 things you can do in English. Maybe you can read a paragraph. Maybe you can order food in English. Maybe you can listen and understand this podcast. Write them down and say, "I'm proud of myself." This small practice will train your mind to focus on your progress, and that is how mindset becomes your secret power.
And remember, dear listener, your thoughts become your actions. If you think, "I can't learn English," then you will stop trying and you will not learn. But if you think, "I can learn even if it's slow," then you will keep going and you will improve. The best way to change your life is to change your thinking first. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to believe that you can grow. Every day is a new chance to start again. Every small effort is a step forward. So even when you feel tired or when you make a mistake, remind yourself, this is just part of the journey. Your mindset is like the light that helps you walk through the dark. It doesn't remove the difficulty, but it helps you see the path more clearly. And with that mindset, you can turn every challenge into a new door. A door that leads to something better, something stronger, something more beautiful than you ever expected.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the next part of our podcast. So far, we've talked about what challenges are, how we can see them as opportunities, and how to build a strong mindset. Now it's time to talk about something really helpful, practical tips. What can you actually do step by step to turn your personal challenges into growth, into learning, into new chances for success? These are things you can start doing today, no matter where you are, no matter how big or small your challenge is. And remember, when we say challenge, it can mean many things. It might be learning English, finding a job, starting a new school, or dealing with stress or failure. But no matter the challenge, the steps we're about to share will help you move forward with strength and confidence.
Yes, Adam. Practical tips are so important because sometimes we hear good ideas, but we don't know how to use them in real life. That's why in this section, we'll give you real actions you can take. The first and most important step is this: accept the challenge. Many people run away from problems. They pretend the problem is not there. They wait and hope it will go away. But the truth is, challenges don't disappear. The first step to turning a problem into an opportunity is to say, "Yes, this is hard. Yes, I feel worried, but I will face it." This is called acceptance. Acceptance is powerful because it gives you the control. You are not hiding. You are not pretending. You are saying, "This is my reality, and I am ready to deal with it." Just saying those words out loud can give you strength. So if you're facing a challenge right now, pause and say to yourself, "I accept this. I am ready to face it."
That's such a strong first step, Julia. And once you accept your challenge, the second thing to do is ask the right questions. Most people ask the wrong ones like, "Why is this happening to me?" or "Why am I so unlucky?" But those questions don't help. They only make you feel sad or angry. Instead, ask questions that open your mind and lead to solutions. For example, you can ask, "What can I learn from this situation?" Or, "What is one small thing I can do today to make this better?" These kinds of questions help you focus on the solution, not the problem. They help your brain become more creative and more hopeful. And the best part is, the answers will often surprise you. You might realize something new about yourself or find a new direction you didn't think of before. So remember, when something bad happens, don't just react, ask a smart question. That's how you start to change your thinking and your life.
Exactly, Adam. And after asking the right questions, the next step is to break the big problem into small steps. This is especially useful for beginners. When we see a big problem, we feel scared. It feels like climbing a tall mountain with no end. But when you break it into small steps, it feels easier. Let's say your challenge is learning English. That feels big, right? But now break it down. You can say, "Today I will learn 5 new words." Or, "Today I will listen to a 5-minute podcast." Or, "Today I will write 1 simple paragraph." These are small actions, but they are powerful. Because when you do one small thing every day, it becomes a habit. And when you look back after 1 month, you will see real progress. So always remember, small steps lead to big results. Don't try to do everything in one day. Just focus on what you can do today.
And another important tip, which many people forget, is to write things down. Yes, use a notebook or even a note app on your phone. Write about your problem, your feelings, your small steps, your progress. When you write things down, your thoughts become more clear. Your goals feel more real. And when you feel tired, you can look back at your notes and see how far you've come. Writing helps you organize your thoughts. It helps you stay focused. It also helps you celebrate your success. You can write things like, "Today I faced a problem and I didn't give up," or "Today I tried to speak English even though I was nervous." These small victories are very important. And when you write them, they become part of your story. So get into the habit of writing, even just a few lines each day. It's a tool that can change your mindset and help you grow faster.
I completely agree. And now here's another powerful step. Ask for help. This is something many people feel afraid to do. They think, "I must do everything alone," or "People will think I'm weak." But the truth is, strong people ask for help. Asking for help is not weakness, it is smart. If you don't understand something, ask a teacher. If you feel sad, talk to a friend. If you feel lost, look for a guide. There are people around you who want to help. And if you don't know anyone nearby, you can find help online. There are podcasts, videos, groups, and courses. You are never truly alone. The more you connect with others, the more you grow. So don't be afraid to say, "I need help." That small sentence can open many doors for you.
Beautifully said, Julia. And another great tip is to celebrate your progress, even the small wins. This is so important for building confidence. Many people only celebrate when something big happens, like getting a job or passing an exam. But we need to celebrate the small steps too. Did you speak English today, even if you made mistakes? Celebrate it. Did you try something new even though it was scary? Celebrate that courage. These small wins add up. They give you energy. They remind you that you are moving forward. You can say something simple to yourself like, "Good job, I did my best today." Or you can reward yourself, watch a movie, eat your favorite snack, or do something you enjoy. When you celebrate, you create positive energy around learning and growth, and that energy will help you continue even when things get tough.
Yes. And now one more practical tip. Visualize your success. This means to imagine your future. Close your eyes and think about yourself in a better place. Imagine yourself speaking English confidently. Imagine yourself working in a job you love. Imagine yourself smiling because you faced your challenge and turned it into something amazing. When you imagine it, you start to believe it. And when you believe it, you start working for it. This is not magic. It's a way to tell your brain, this is possible. Many successful people use this technique. They imagine their goals, and then they work hard to reach them. So take a few minutes every day to picture your success. See it, feel it, and then take one small action that moves you closer to that dream.
These tips are simple, but when you practice them daily, they become part of who you are. Let me quickly repeat them for our listeners. First, accept the challenge. Second, ask smart questions. Third, break big problems into small steps. Fourth, write things down. Fifth, ask for help. Sixth, celebrate your progress. And seventh, visualize your success. These 7 steps are like tools. Keep them in your pocket. Use them whenever life feels hard. They will help you turn almost any challenge into an opportunity for learning, growth, and happiness. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything. Just take one step today and one more tomorrow. That's how change begins.
And remember, we are here for you. This podcast is your place to learn, to feel supported, and to grow together. If you're listening to this, you've already taken a powerful step. You're not sitting back. You're learning, thinking, and growing. And that means you are already on the path to success. So don't stop. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. You are stronger than you think. Every challenge is your classroom. Every mistake is your teacher. And every step you take brings you closer to the person you want to become.
In the last section, we shared some practical steps you can use to turn your challenges into opportunities. Now, we want to go deeper and talk about something very important, something many learners struggle with, especially in the beginning. That thing is confidence. Yes, confidence. Many people think that confidence is something you are born with, but that's not true at all. Confidence is not a gift. It is something you build over time. It is like a muscle. And just like a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. When you face a challenge, like learning English or starting something new, your confidence might feel small, weak, or even invisible. But here's the secret. The way to grow your confidence is to take action. You don't wait for confidence to come. You build it step by step, one small action at a time.
Yes, Adam, you're absolutely right. Many people think, I will try when I feel more confident, or I will speak English when I feel ready. But the truth is, confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after action. Imagine this. A child learning to walk doesn't wait until they feel strong. They just try. They fall. They try again. And every time they stand up, they get stronger. That's how we build confidence. By doing. So if you want to feel more confident speaking English, don't wait. Speak now. Say one sentence. Make one mistake. Try one new word. Every small action is a small victory. And every victory adds to your confidence. You don't need to feel perfect. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. That's how confidence is born. In the doing, not the waiting.
Let me give you an example. When I was learning Spanish, I was really afraid to speak. I knew the words, I studied the grammar, but I was scared to open my mouth. I thought people would laugh at me or not understand me. So for weeks, I said nothing. But nothing changed. I still felt afraid. Then one day, I went to a restaurant and I decided to try. I said just one sentence to the waiter, and guess what? He smiled. He understood. He even helped me with my grammar. That moment gave me a boost. I realized that it was okay to make mistakes. It was okay to try. From that day, I started to speak more often. Slowly, my confidence grew, not because I became perfect, but because I took action again and again. That's why I always say, confidence lives in action. If you want it, go and build it.
That's such a great story, Adam. And I think it helps our listeners understand something important. You don't need to wait until you feel brave. You just need to take one step. Start small. Speak one word. Record yourself reading a sentence. Ask one question in your English class. Each small action teaches your brain, I can do this. And after a few days or weeks, you'll notice something amazing. Things that once felt scary now feel normal. Things that once made you nervous now feel fun. That's what confidence does. It turns fear into freedom. And you don't have to do big things. In fact, the best way to build confidence is to practice small, every day. It's better to take one small action every day than one big action once a year. So ask yourself, what small thing can I do today to feel a little stronger? That's how the journey begins.
Exactly, Julia. Let's talk about a few small actions our listeners can try today. First, if you're shy about speaking, you can practice speaking to yourself. Yes, talk to yourself in English when you're walking, cleaning, or getting ready in the morning. Say, "Good morning, how are you today?" Or, "I'm going to the store to buy some food." It might feel strange at first, but this helps your brain get used to forming English sentences. Second, try reading out loud. Choose a short text or even a children's story. Read it slowly and clearly. This helps you improve pronunciation and rhythm. Third, use your phone to record your voice. Read a short paragraph and listen to it. Don't be too critical. Just listen and smile. Every recording is a step forward. These small speaking habits will slowly grow your confidence. It's not magic, it's consistency.
That's right. And here's another idea. Join an English speaking group. You don't have to speak a lot. You can start by listening. Then maybe you introduce yourself. Then you answer one question. Little by little, your voice will become stronger. Many cities have free conversation clubs. And if you can't find one, look online. There are free apps and websites where people practice English together. And guess what? Everyone in those groups is learning. No one is perfect. No one is laughing. They're just like you, trying, practicing, improving. So don't be afraid. Join, listen, speak. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be quiet at first. But just being there, just listening, is a kind of action. And action builds confidence.
Yes. And another great way to build confidence is through something we call positive self-talk. This means the way you speak to yourself in your mind. Many people say things like, "I'm terrible at English," or "I will never learn." But these thoughts hurt your confidence. Imagine if a coach said that to an athlete. They would feel broken. Instead, try saying things like, "I'm learning every day," or "Every mistake helps me grow." These small phrases are like seeds. When you say them again and again, they grow into confidence. So every morning, try saying one positive sentence to yourself. Look in the mirror and say, "I am improving," or "I can do this." It may feel silly, but it really works. Your words have power. So use them to lift yourself up, not bring yourself down.
Yes, Adam. And I'd like to add one more important idea. Confidence also comes from kindness. Be kind to yourself. Many learners think, "I must be perfect," and when they make a mistake, they feel like a failure. But that's not helpful. Mistakes are part of learning. They are signs that you are trying. So when you make a mistake, don't say, "I'm stupid." Say, "Great. Now I've learned something new." And when you feel nervous, don't say, "I'm weak." Say, "I'm human." It's okay to feel this way. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend. Be patient. Be encouraging. Confidence grows in a safe, kind space. So create that space in your own heart and mind. You are learning. You are growing. And that's something to be proud of.
Well said, Julia. So let's give our listeners a quick summary of this section. First, remember that confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build through action. Second, start with small steps. Speak to yourself, read out loud, join a group, or record your voice. Third, use positive self-talk. Speak kindly to yourself. And finally, treat mistakes as your teachers, not your enemies. Every time you try, you are building strength. Every time you act, your confidence grows. You don't have to wait to feel ready. Just take one step, and the confidence will follow.
Yes. And don't forget, dear listener, you are doing something amazing. You are learning a new language, and that is not easy. But you are showing up. You are listening. You are practicing. That means you are already brave. You are already strong. Keep going. Let your confidence grow with every action you take. And remember, we're here with you, cheering for you every step of the way. You've got this.
All right, dear listeners, welcome to this powerful section of our podcast. Today, we are going to talk about something that is truly life-changing, your mindset. Now, what is mindset? Mindset means the way you think about yourself, about life, and about the things that happen to you. When you face a problem, your mindset decides how you will react. Will you feel stuck, or will you look for a way forward? Will you give up, or will you grow stronger? Your mindset is like a pair of glasses. If your glasses are dirty or broken, everything looks bad. But if your glasses are clear and focused, you can see hope, solutions, and new paths, even in hard times. So, if we want to turn challenges into opportunities, we must first learn how to change the way we think. We must move from a problem mindset to a possibility mindset. And trust me, this shift can change everything.
Yes, Adam. A problem mindset focuses on what's wrong. It says, "This is too hard," "I can't do it," or "Why is this happening to me?" But a possibility mindset asks better questions. It says, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow stronger?" Or, "Is there another way to look at this?" This way of thinking does not ignore the problem. It simply opens the door to solutions. It brings in hope. For example, let's say you tried to speak English and someone didn't understand you. A problem mindset says, "I'm bad at English." But a possibility mindset says, "Okay, that was a challenge. What can I do next time? Maybe I can slow down or learn the right pronunciation." The first mindset stops you. The second mindset helps you move forward. That's the power of thinking in possibilities.
And Julia, the best part is, this kind of mindset can be learned. You don't need to be born positive. You don't need to be lucky. You can train your brain just like you train your muscles. One way to do this is by paying attention to your thoughts. When a challenge comes, stop and ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? If your thoughts are negative, try to change them. For example, instead of thinking, "I can't do this," try thinking, "This is hard, but I'm learning." Or instead of, "Everything is going wrong," say, "This is a tough moment, but it will pass." These small changes in thought create big changes in how you feel and act. They help you stay calm, focused, and ready to try again. That's how you take power back from the problem and turn it into possibility.
Another great way to build a possibility mindset is to surround yourself with positive messages. Listen to motivational podcasts like this one. Read stories of people who faced big problems and didn't give up. Talk to people who encourage you and believe in you. Sometimes your environment can help you change your mind. If you hear positive voices, you start thinking positive thoughts. If you hear hope, you start feeling hopeful. And guess what? Your brain listens. When your brain hears good things often, it starts to believe them. It starts to look for opportunities, even in dark times. So be careful about what you listen to, what you watch, and who you spend time with. Make sure your world supports your growth, not your fear.
Yes. And here's one more powerful tip, dear friends. When you face a challenge, try using this simple question. What is this teaching me? This question helps you grow. Maybe you lost a job. Ask, what is this teaching me? Maybe the answer is, I need to build new skills, or I need to find work that makes me happier. Or maybe you failed an English exam. Instead of feeling bad, ask, what is this teaching me? Maybe it teaches you to study differently, or to ask for help, or to manage your time better. Every challenge brings a lesson, and when you learn the lesson, you become wiser and stronger. So don't just survive the problem, learn from it. That's how you turn pain into power and problems into possibilities. Yes. And here's one more powerful tip, dear friends. When you face a challenge, try using this simple question. What is this teaching me? This question helps you grow. Maybe you lost a job. Ask, what is this teaching me? Maybe the answer is, I need to build new skills, or I need to find work that makes me happier. Or maybe you failed an English exam. Instead of feeling bad, ask, what is this teaching me? Maybe it teaches you to study differently, or to ask for help, or to manage your time better. Every challenge brings a lesson, and when you learn the lesson, you become wiser and stronger. So don't just survive the problem, learn from it. That's how you turn pain into power and problems into possibilities.
That's a beautiful reminder, Adam. I want our listeners to remember this simple truth. You are not your problems. You are your possibilities. You have so much strength inside you, more than you know. And every challenge you face is helping you find that strength. It's helping you grow into the person you are meant to be. So don't be afraid of problems. Don't run away. Look them in the eye and say, I'm not afraid of you. I'm learning from you. That's how champions are made. That's how success is born. From a strong, open, and hopeful mindset. You can do this. One thought, one step, one day at a time.
Thank you, Julia. That was powerful. And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us in this section. We hope it helps you see that the way you think is just as important as what you do. A good mindset helps you find strength when things are hard. It helps you stay calm, stay focused, and move forward. So the next time you face a challenge, remember, change your glasses, change your questions, and change your story. Problems are real, but so are possibilities, and the choice is yours.
Let's now talk about something that everyone experiences at some point in life, something that can feel painful and disappointing, but can also be the start of something beautiful. That thing is failure. Many people are afraid to fail. They feel ashamed when they make a mistake or don't get the result they wanted. But here's what we want to share with you today. Failure is not the end. It is the beginning. Failure is not something to fear or avoid. It is something to learn from. When you fail, you are actually one step closer to success. Every mistake you make helps you understand what doesn't work, so that you can try something new that might work better. In fact, some of the most successful people in the world failed many times before they achieved their dreams. They didn't give up. They learned, they changed, and they tried again. So the next time you feel like you have failed, stop for a moment and remember, this is not your final story. This is just the beginning of your next chapter.
Yes, Julia. That's a very important message for our listeners, especially for English learners who are just starting their journey. Imagine this. You try to speak English, but you forget the words. You write a sentence, but you make a grammar mistake. You listen to a podcast, but you don't understand every word. That can feel like failure, but it's not. It's learning. Failure is a sign that you are trying. If you never fail, it means you're not challenging yourself enough. You're staying in your comfort zone, and nothing grows there. Think of failure like a teacher. A good teacher doesn't just give you the answers. A good teacher helps you think, helps you try, and helps you understand. That's exactly what failure does. It teaches you how to improve. It shows you where you need to focus, and it builds your confidence because you realize, I failed, but I didn't stop. I'm still here. I'm still learning. That kind of strength is powerful.
And remember, the way you think about failure is even more important than the failure itself. If you say to yourself, I failed, so I'm not good enough, you are closing the door. But if you say, I failed, so now I understand what to do better, you are opening the door to improvement. Many famous inventors, athletes, writers, and leaders failed again and again. Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, once said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That kind of mindset is what turns failure into a powerful opportunity. So instead of saying, I failed, try saying, I learned. Instead of saying, I can't do this, try saying, I'm getting better every time. These small changes in words can make a big difference in your motivation and confidence.
That's so true, Julia. And I want our listeners to remember one thing clearly. The only real failure is giving up. If you keep going, if you keep learning, if you keep trying, then you are not failing. You are growing. And growth is the real goal. Let's take English as an example again. You might fail to understand every sentence today, but tomorrow you'll understand a little more. You might fail to pronounce a word correctly now, but next time it will be easier. You might fail to write a good paragraph this week, but in a month You'll look back and smile at how far you've come. Progress takes time, and every mistake is proof that you're on the path. So be kind to yourself. Don't let failure stop you. Let it shape you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself.
Yes. And I'd like to give a small exercise to our listeners to help them see failure in a new way. Take a notebook or open your phone. Write down one time when you failed at something. Anything. It could be something big or small. Then, under that, write what you learned from it. Maybe you learned to be more patient, or to practice more, or to ask for help. Now, write one way that failure made you stronger. This small writing activity helps your mind see the value in difficult experiences. It shows you that failure has meaning. It helps you grow. And next time when you face a challenge, you will remember, I've been through tough times before, and I learned from them. I can do it again.
So friends, if there's one message we want to leave you with in this section, it is this. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of not trying. Be afraid of staying the same. Because every failure, every mistake, and every challenge is helping you become better. And the best part? You don't have to do it alone. We are here with you. Your community, your friends, your teachers, and your own heart are all cheering for you. You are not failing, you are becoming. And that is the most beautiful part of the journey.
Now let's talk about something that may not sound exciting at first, but is actually one of the most powerful secrets to turning challenges into success. That secret is patience and consistency. Many people want quick results. They want to speak English fluently in 1 month. They want to succeed in life without putting in long-term effort. But real success does not come quickly. It comes from taking small steps every day, even when you don't see results right away. That's where patience is so important. You have to trust the process. You have to believe that your efforts are building something even when you can't see the full picture yet. Learning a language is like planting a seed. You water it every day. You give it sunlight. And for some time, nothing seems to happen. But slowly, something begins to grow. That's exactly what happens with English and with life. You don't always see the progress, but if you stay patient and consistent, you are growing every single day.
Yes, Julia. I love that example. I think so many learners, especially beginners, feel frustrated when they don't see fast results. They think, why is it taking so long? Or maybe I'm just not good at this. But the truth is, success is not about doing big things once. It's about doing small things again and again. That's where consistency comes in. If you study for 10 hours in one day, but then stop for the rest of the month, it won't help you much. But if you study for just 20 or 30 minutes every day, you will see real progress. Consistency means you don't stop. You keep going even when you feel tired or bored, even when it feels slow. That's when real change happens. It's like going to the gym. If you go once and expect to be strong, it won't work. But if you go every week, little by little, your body and your mind become stronger. And with English, your confidence grows. Your vocabulary grows. Your listening improves. But only if you are patient and you don't quit.
That's so true, Adam. And I want to add something important. Sometimes people compare their journey to others. They see someone else speaking fluently and feel discouraged. But remember, everyone has a different timeline. Everyone has a different background, a different situation, a different way of learning. So don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Just stay on your path. Be proud of every step you take. Celebrate the small wins. Maybe today you understood a new word. Maybe you listened to this whole podcast without subtitles. Maybe you said a sentence out loud, even if you were nervous. These things may seem small, but they are actually big victories. They are proof that you are consistent. And the more you stay consistent, the more natural English will become for you. So take your time. Be patient with yourself. You are doing better than you think.
Yes, exactly. And here's another tip. Create small daily habits that support your learning. You don't need big, complicated routines, just simple habits. Maybe every morning, you listen to a 5-minute English podcast. Maybe at night, you write 3 new sentences in a notebook. Maybe during lunch, you read 1 English paragraph. These little actions, done every day, will build a strong foundation. And even when you don't feel motivated, your habits will help you stay on track. That's the magic of consistency. It carries you through the hard days, and when patience joins consistency, they become a powerful team. Together, they make you unstoppable.
So, listeners, the message we want to give you today is this. Be patient. Stay consistent. Don't rush your success. Don't give up because it feels slow. Every great thing takes time. And the good news is, you are already on the path. By listening to this podcast, by learning with us, by showing up, you are proving that you are serious about your growth. And we are so proud of you. Keep watering your dreams, keep practicing your English, and keep believing in your journey. The results will come step by step, day by day. Just trust the process and trust yourself.
All right, my friends, we have reached the end of this long and inspiring journey together. First of all, thank you so much for staying with us throughout this episode. We have talked about many important ideas today. We talked about what challenges are and why we all face them in life. We shared real examples of people who turned their problems into opportunities. We explored how your mindset, yes, your thoughts, can change how you experience every situation. And most importantly, we reminded you that you have the power to grow even when life gets difficult. This is not just a motivational idea. This is a real-life skill. Turning challenges into opportunities means taking back control of your life, your future, and your learning journey. Especially for you, our dear English learners, this message is powerful, because learning a new language is not easy, but every mistake, every fear, every confusion is actually a chance to grow.
Yes, Adam, that's so true. Dear listeners, if there's one thing we want you to remember from today's episode, it is this. You are not alone, and you are stronger than your struggles. Life may give you problems, but it also gives you choices. You can choose how to respond. You can choose to see each challenge as a lesson, not a punishment. You can choose to see yourself not as a victim, but as a learner, a fighter, a dreamer. Whether you are trying to learn English for your future, for a better job, for travel, or just for confidence, remember, every time you don't give up, you are already winning. We all make mistakes when we learn. We all get nervous. But the key is to keep going, to keep showing up, and to believe that something beautiful is waiting on the other side of struggle.
And let's be honest, life won't always be easy. You may have days when you feel tired, when you want to quit, when the challenge feels too big. But those are the most important moments, because those are the moments when your courage is being built. Every difficult moment is like a gym for your mind and your heart. It's training you to become stronger, more focused, and more prepared for success. So don't wait for life to be perfect before you take action. Start now. Use what you have. Do what you can. And trust that step by step, your small actions will become big results. Remember, even when you feel slow, you are still moving forward. And that's what counts.
So, as we say goodbye today, we want to give you a challenge. Yes, a small challenge. Think about one problem or one challenge you are facing right now. It could be in your English learning. Maybe you're afraid to speak. Maybe you feel shy in front of others. Or maybe it's something in your life like school, work, or family. Now, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is one small action I can take today to turn this into an opportunity? It could be learning 5 new words. It could be recording your voice and listening to your own speaking. It could be writing down your feelings in English. Just one small action. That's all it takes to begin the change. One step leads to another. And soon, you will look back and say, wow, I did it. I turned my challenge into a gift.
Thank you so much for joining us on the English Globe. This podcast is for you, and we are so proud of your effort, your time, and your heart. Every time you listen to an episode, you are building your English skills and your personal power. Don't forget to repeat this episode again if you want to practice more. And please share it with your friends who are learning English. Together, we can grow. Together, we can rise. And together, we can turn every challenge into an opportunity. We believe in you. Keep learning, keep shining, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care and stay strong.